I think we can get started. I have past 6:31. So, Patty, will you take a roll call, please?
Will, Dawn Span,
Excuse
Harry-
me.
Harry Bickford,
Present.
Ronald Bisson,
Present.
Larry Brand,
Present.
Tim Denham,
Present.
Marilyn Hunter,
Present.
Scott Libby.
Likewise excused.
So excused is Dawn and Scott, and Larry Brand is conducting the meeting. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
The first item we have on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from July 23, 2026. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes? And we will.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it. Motion's made and seconded, Tim Dunham and by Ron Bisson. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye or raise their hand. And Carrie, that was unanimous, except Carrie was abstaining. She was absent.
Thank you.
So the next item on the agenda is any staff approval updates. Do we have any of those?
Nope, no staff approval updates.
Next item on the agenda is a question. Should the planning board schedule a site visit in advance of the site plan amendment review for the towing company at 26 Union Park Road?
So just to introduce the question, so the reason that this was put up for discussion was, this specific, item that's coming up, they've requested about, like, it's either, I think it's like 6 waivers. And so because of the large amount of waivers being, requested for the site, staff thought it might be good to ask if.
Can you list off the waivers? What were the waivers?
There are certain waivers, I don't have them on me now, but I guess I think one of the bigger ones has to do with visibility and buffering. The applicant, they have basically anything in the village center zone that's coming to the planning board for review. They're required to install a 10-foot buffer in front of the property. And they've said that what they've provided is sufficient. It's a rather large it's a rather large expansion of the use on the site. And so staff thought the board may want to have a site visit for that.
Has Don been updated on that at all? Has he looked at this, or has Sky talked to? No. So it's just this is it. We're just being presented that. Do you have anything for us to see, or is it just a verbal?
I think the question would just be, so, I mean, it's for a towing company on at 26 Union Park.
Yeah.
And so there are requirements for screening and buffering. And so just because he's asking for a waiver from providing that buffering, he's also saying that basically the lawn and the shade trees that are there are sufficient. And so that the board is going to have to make a determination during that meeting whether or not what's there is enough to count as a buffer.
Is he gonna provide photos?
Yeah, it's a thing.
That's another option.
Yeah.
And it's an existing business, he's expanding?
Yes.
Okay, so it's already there. I'm trying to figure out where it is.
It's
We're in Libby's tax place.
Oh, right down there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd be fine with photos as long as, yeah, photos.
I think photos would
Yeah,
be
I
fine.
don't think we need a sidewalk for that.
Is that the same one that we approved a few months ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
At first, the project, they were just installing a fence, and so now they're adding crushed gravel to a large portion of the site, and then they'll be adding a fence around the crushed gravel.
I think if he has photos and then his proposed whatever he's gonna have, some kind of visual, that would be great.
Chair, do you need a motion for anything, or is it just a?
I don't think we need a motion.
No, I think photos might be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think we need.
And we can always, I mean, if for some reason we
They
think
said
that
photos,
it's not, we can always
photos.
try a site plan.
Yeah,
Well, I would assume that he's going to have some kind of something for us to see of what he's
Yeah.
going to be doing, so that would be already in the plan anyway. So just a photograph of what's there right now. Couple of them.
perfect. It's gotta be a pretty small lot, if I recall. It was- Yeah,
It is.
yeah, but
Yeah.
photos would be good.
I'm unavailable that night for a sidewalk, so I wasn't say anything about it.
Well, then who would lead us around?
I don't know.
That answers the question, doesn't it?
Marilyn can't be there, I don't want one.
Okay, all set on that. Next item on the agenda is public hearing, final subdivision review for Sky High Lodge. Final subdivision, Green Mars Real Estate Services, Inc. is proposing a mixed-use repurpose of the existing building at 32 Sky High Drive to provide 18 affordable housing rental units and service business space, tax map R07, lot 28-1.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to be recused.
Mr. Dunham, you are recused.
Thank you.
And we will hear from the applicant.
Hello, I'm Oscar Wilkerson. I represent Green Marsh Real Estate. We are the developers for this project. Is this mic on and picking me up?
No, it is.
Okay, I'll start from the top. My name is Oscar Wilkerson. I represent Green Mars Real Estate Services based out of Portland. We're looking to develop the site at 32 Sky High Drive. Currently it is a vacant conference center, and we're looking to convert it to 18 apartments with a public use area on the first floor. This is an excellent opportunity for the town to have 18 affordable housing units in a really gorgeous area. It would be a new community, an incredible place for people to grow up and to get started in Topsham, and hopefully some people that work in Topsham and many of these places have a new place to live. I'll turn it over to Travis, who's our engineer for the project.
Good evening, I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. So essentially, it's basically the same plan that we brought to you for the preliminary subdivision. We have addressed a few staff comments between then and now. So one of the bigger comments is the loop road. Sort of right now, there's basically a loop gravel road around the entire property, and as part of this proposal, half of it, we are going to be adding what's called a grass pave to that, and it'll be available for emergency vehicles. We'll provide signage and keep it clear in the winter, but it will be for emergency vehicles only. Other than that, we have added a few extra details to the plans, and it's essentially the same as we came in for preliminary for. But if you have any questions or comments, we're happy to discuss.
We should probably do suggested motion 1 at this point.
I move that the planning board concur with staff that the final application materials for the Sky High Lodge subdivision have been submitted. That the application is complete such that the board may proceed with substantive review and identification of any further action or information which may be required for the applicant.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Bedford, seconded by Ms. Hunter. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, raise your hand. That was unanimous, Patty. And any questions from the board at the present time?
I have one because I know that there were some issues with local abutting landowners, and I just wondered if you had a chance to either discuss the issues that they had brought up, if there'd been any formal discussion or anything before you go forward.
We had some informal conversation on site today, but nothing official.
I guess as a board member, I would just wanna know what those issues might be and that we at least address those going forward. I know that that'll probably get caught up in the whole what's next. So, yeah.
We're happy to answer any specific questions you have. About the site.
Yeah, I know, I said one. I actually have one question, kind of with you, Josh, but also with the applicant, because of course, looking for a density bonus, because of, labeling this affordable housing. LD 2003 says rental units are protected as affordable housing for 30 years. That conflicts with what is in our ordinance, where it says 180 days if they're all rented or sold.
So,
Does the affordable agreement pursuant to our ordinance track LD 2003?
so that's definitely something that we would have to look into to see if the ordinance aligns with LD 2003.
It does not.
And so, yes, so that would be, yes, as, the board would have to, I guess, make a change to that ordinance. However, my understanding is that the applicant, has stated that it would be a 30-year, that it would be affordable for 30 years. That was
My current understanding is that it will be 45 years. That's on the state problem. That's part of a state program that we were applying for as well.
Okay, so some of this is through the Maine housing
Correct.
and,
Yep.
yeah, and Maine housing actually went beyond LD 2003.
Yeah, so it'll be capped, it'll be 80% AMI, is area median income for the next 45 years. From this CO date.
Okay. Any other questions at the present time from any of the board members? Then I will open this up for the public hearing, and if there's any members of the public who'd like to speak to the subdivision application, please step forward to the microphone and identify yourself.
Good evening, I'm Sandy Bagwell, and I live at 16 Sky High
I can move that,
Drive.
the computer.
Oh, I think that this is helpful for a couple of my points, so we're next door to this, and we're very concerned because we are also downhill. As you look at this particular screen, the impervious part of the driveway is going to head right down to our house. And in the document, there is discussion about stormwater runoff as it goes toward Bradley Pond. A lot of discussion about that because of the sanctity, I guess, of Bradley Pond, but nothing about how that stormwater runoff is going to affect us. Just for comment. Also concerned about the driveway. Right now, we have little traffic because the building's not really active. According to the document, they said 106 exits and entrances during a day is what they projected. That's 216, 212 cars going on this easement that runs right through our property that probably wasn't created to accommodate that much traffic. There's been no discussion about who's responsible for this road, who's gonna clear this road, whether we can have a speed bump, what the miles per hour is going to be on this road. Looking at the road right now, there's been cars in there doing wheelies. You can see the tire marks on the drive. And I'm afraid with an increased population, it's going to be noisy and maybe dangerous for people like us living there with grandkids and dogs and everything else. I would like to see speed bumps as the bottom line there. And some definite discussion on who's responsible for that road and who's going to maintain that road. How big is the elevator in that building? Do you know?
You should just address questions this way.
I'm wondering
and-
what the size of the elevator is in
Yeah.
that building. Because a lot of effort is being put into having ADA compliance with parking spaces and a ramp going into the building. But if the elevator, if there is one in that building, and I don't know, is too small for a comfortable wheelchair with the person that's servicing the wheelchair, that's gonna be a problem, and I don't think that's been discussed. I'm concerned about the wells. There's a current well there that as I read in the document, I believe is going to be the fire cistern. And a new well is going to be drilled. There's a discussion about a well driller has said there will be the ability to draw enough water. But how do they know how it's going to affect our well, which is at the bottom of the hill? I don't know if it's gonna be the same aquifer, a different aquifer. And what happens if we have a change in our water flow or water purity? Just concerned, has not been discussed. There was a study on the traffic impact on Meadow Road, but there was not a discussion or impact about what our driveway would be. And I found in the documents today about the 106 entrances and exits down the road. That's a boatload in my mind. There is a discussion about legal non-conforming grandfathered use of the first floor business area. It doesn't give us an idea of what that is. How much more traffic is that going to entail? Okay, I think that's basically all my points I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy, do you have a written list that you can provide of all, I mean, if you could do, I think, is that something we can ask for? Just so that we have clarity, and, I mean, obviously we have it in minutes, so that.
Well, I presume we have it will be in the minutes.
Initially,
For what
if you could provide that for the board, that would.
Sure. I need to rewrite it because I have other
That would be great,
comments on
the
here.
clearer the better.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Bagwell, and my family owns property at 16 Sky High Drive. My mother just spoke. The last time I stood here, I was very upset. My family and I felt blindsided by a yellow flyer in the mail indicating that our home environment could potentially be changed forever. I was scared of the worst case scenarios. The internet describes these situations to be like snakes and sharks with dollar signs in their eyes. And I was angry that we were informed about this plan at the point where we seemingly had no say in the matter. And I was devastated that the dreams I had envisioned my entire life needed to be laid to rest. All of that being said, I spent the last month dealing with all of these feelings. I spoke with trusted members of our community who know most of you, and my friends and my family, and I've learned a lot about our town's needs. and the tough decisions that need to be made and have changed, and I have changed my tune on the whole matter. I remember when Topsham had one blinking stoplight. It has changed so much. Yet we still have little farm stands with a drop box for money that rely completely on the honor system. The small town vibes are still here, and I know that you all are a big part of that. My grandmother also owned property on Meadow Road, and if you drove that road between 1994 and 2015, you probably got stuck behind her in a white PT Cruiser driving at ungodly slow speeds. I know Ron knows. That was her. Cruising around, talking to everyone, helping everyone, and regulating speeds on Meadow Road, one trip to the post office at a time. My grandmother believed in community and instilled those same beliefs in me. I remember her telling me what wonderful neighbors the Bisons were. When my grandfather passed away, the Bison boys were always there to plow her driveway and help her with odds and ends. She told me all the time, if you ever need anything, you can count on the Bisons. Remembering those words, I am counting on the fact that you still believe in community. And I know you understand the importance of honoring thy neighbor. Marilyn, last time I walked in here, I was catapulted back to freshman year in basketball tryouts. And I looked up to you both literally and figuratively, as my job was to be your substitute. And having to fill your shoes terrified me. I stand in front of you today, still looking up to you as someone who has positioned themselves as a decision maker in your community, or our community. For that reason, I know you understand what it means to be a woman that wants to have a say in what happens to their home. For these reasons, along with my maternal optimism, I'm choosing to believe that you all have the best intentions for Topsham, and that will make decisions that are in the best interest of all of its citizens. I will put my faith in the fact that whatever decision you make, I will continue to hope for the best. And we would like some reassurances and to be prepared for all the unknowns that could come in the future. And that's all. I have realized that these things don't have to be scary. That with good communication and cooperation, we can come up with solutions to really tough problems that ease the fear of change and promote collaboration in the community. I will be the first to tell you about how wonderful it is to live at Sky High Drive. As you guys mentioned, it's so beautiful, quiet, pristine, and the view is amazing. You can see all the way to BIW. And at night, stargazing is out of this world. I think it would be a wonderful place for people to experience living at my favorite place in the world. But I am begging you all to help ensure that the magic is not lost. To this end, we ask that the developer consider their neighbors and their proposals, as well as the future leasing contracts, because you are also going to be the management company as well. We are concerned with the lack of acknowledgement for our dwelling, the only other dwelling on Sky High Drive. We thank the developer for their consideration on down-facing lighting that will not pollute the sky with light. We would like to also ask you to include noise restrictions beyond the period of construction. We also ask that the developer work with us as a plan for the shared road that we will both be using and that runs right through our property. We thank the developer for considering changes that affect Meadow Road, but a proposal still does not discuss the changes that will happen on Sky High Drive. At any point, there could be 3 or more kiddos biking, dogs running around the property. And we ask that there be consideration to the fact that we are accustomed to very little traffic on Sky High Drive. And the developer himself estimates that there will be about 106 cars entering and exiting per day. So others just said, this is a huge change in environment for us. We currently have a speed limit sign of 10 miles per hour on Sky High Drive, but ask that there be speed bumps installed and an agreement produced discussing road maintenance, plowing, and commercial use, which is yet to happen. How will these businesses that are being proposed affect Sky High Drive and us? We are fair and reasonable people and deserve honest conversations discussing potential changes that have not been clearly laid out by the developer. We wanted to continue to foster a lasting and cooperative relationship between all of our neighbors that is rooted in basic decency, consideration, and honoring my neighbor. Lastly, we would like to receive assurances on the safety and privacy of our home and property. To this end, we ask that there be zero tolerance policies incorporated into leasing agreements that will address trespassing and other less than neighborly incidences. While we can hope for the best, we also feel the need to protect our home and our peace. In the vein of optimism and positivity, I truly hope for the best case scenario for underserved members of our community, as well as my beloved home. And I respectfully ask that the board uphold small town values as well as legal responsibilities when making their judgments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bruce Bagwell. I was also owner of 16 Sky High house next door. But I'm also a parent. That was my daughter. She's a researcher at Duke University. And as you might know, research at her level is very competitive, very stressful. And she always was thinking about coming back home. And I think you can see that she's quite distraught because, in a sense, this home is now in some jeopardy. So I wanted to that's one point I wanted to make. The second is that my wife and I have been our whole careers involved in helping people. My wife directly, Sandy, is a critical care doc at Portland, Maine Medical Center for many years. Me, I more indirectly have been in the service of making medical instrumentation. But so our reflex is one of helping people. And so I want the board to know that even though I honestly believe that you're putting people at risk by entertaining this plan, we will be there. So if there are issues that may or may not happen, we will be good neighbors. We will help. That's in our nature. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy Bagwell again. During our site visit, Olive UTech came up with a thought that I thought was worth sharing with the board as well. I don't know if she's on Zoom or not, but she's concerned about the children that will be at. No, she's not on Zoom. She's concerned about the children that may live there, especially getting a school bus. Since it's a private drive, a school bus will not be allowed up there. That means the children will be picking up the bus and getting off the bus on Meadow Road, which we've already established is a very fast and potentially dangerous road, certainly for walkers, bikers, people walking their dogs, it's not good. So I just wanted to let you know that she was concerned about that. Also concerned about additional mailboxes because the mailman won't go on a private road up there either. They thought the mailboxes would have to be on their property. And my husband and I were talking earlier too, that the standing on the porch of the Sky High Lodge is spectacular, but it's straight down. Any children in that area, you have to realize it's a precipitous drop and maybe very dangerous for children. And as a critical care physician, I saw a lot of things that hopefully could have been prevented, but just thought I'd mention that.
Could I ask you a question?
Yes.
Has there been any accidents with that drop off right there that you can? I was wondering that as we left and I figured you might know.
Honestly, he has a
I can
story.
answer that story.
Identify yourself again.
Bruce Bagwell,
Yeah, thank you.
once again, parent. At Sky High, they used to have, on Sundays, they'd have, large get-togethers and everything, and, this is when Jenny was 15.
Yeah.
We heard, people calling out some some girl's name, and so we went out to find out what the story was. And so they were missing a 12-year-old girl. And this was late in the fall, so it was kind of cold. And so 3 or 4 comes along, and we don't hear anything. So Jenny and I go up to Sky High, and we were told that they still hadn't found the little girl. So Jenny and I went down that hill, which is an impressive hill. I mean, it's not easy. And we got to the bottom of the hill, and there is a trail at the bottom, and we found her there. And she had twisted an ankle, fallen down, and had been crying or yelling. So she had laryngitis. You couldn't hardly hear what she was saying. So I was younger at that point. I picked her up and I carried her up that hill. I still don't know how I did it, but we got her back up there. So it's a dangerous hill. I can't emphasize that enough. You saw.
Yeah.
One step too far and you slip, it's gonna be a problem. So yeah, that's the story. I don't know whether there have been other instances, but it would surprise me if there hadn't been.
Thank you.
Any other members of the public wish to speak at the present time? Do we have anybody online, Josh? Wishes to speak?
That would be have their hand up.
Oh, wants to respond to this. Under the public hearing? Yeah. Yeah, does the developer wish to respond? We'll keep the public hearing open for the.
Yeah. So is there anything
Yes.
to this specific you wanted us?
I'd like to say something before we get into specifics. We don't take these meetings lightly. And it matters to us a lot that people care so much about where they live and where we are. that is the beautiful spot part about living here in Maine, is that people do really care about where they live. And it's nice, because that's not how it is everywhere. We are extremely interested in working closely with the Bagwells, and I'm very moved by their words today. I reached out to them as best I could before we started this whole process. I called Bruce's old work and I called a bunch of different places, but we didn't have any of their contact information from the start. I know Travis emailed them as well a couple of times, and we are extremely interested in working with our neighbors. We also believe in being neighborly, and that matters. I see that working both ways with this project. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. You can see how much Jenny enjoyed growing up there, and the benefit of turning it from a vacant location to a place with 18 homes where hopefully more people can grow up is what motivates me here. We're happy to respond to specific complaints, but we don't take this lightly, and I do appreciate you guys speaking to it.
Yeah, let me address a couple things specifically, with regard to stormwater, there's a concern, about water coming from our property onto the Bagwell's property. So on the screen here is a contour map of the area. As you can see, it's lots of contours, so it's fairly steep, but what this area right here, which is between our properties, is essentially a swale that's going to catch stormwater from our property and just sort of divert it down and around onto this sort of hill there. So that's an existing condition that's not going to change, and stormwater from our property will not cross the property line anywhere near to the location of the house next door. The remainder of the property, the parking, and most of the roof flow will actually drain towards Meadow Road and then down and around in that location. So there's in my opinion, with these contours, there's essentially no risk of stormwater from our property draining onto the neighbor's property. With regard to traffic, the 212 trips per day does account for the service business. So there were, I forget what the number was, with a fully built out service business in the first floor. But I think it was at least 25 to 40% of the trips were generated from that use. The remainder obviously are from the apartment building, but and as far as what the service business will be, I know the ordinance is fairly vague and it lays out quite a few different options for that. We haven't explored an actual service business that we're gonna put there, but if we ever do, it would be within the definition of service business from your ordinances is what we put there. Yeah, most likely it would be a recreational type of thing to utilize the conserved land in the back.
I know the plan. The plan initially is to use it as they're currently using it. So AA meetings and any sort of community events that need a space to be housed and not a business specifically.
As far as the responsibility of maintenance of the Sky High, we'll be there maintaining our property, plowing and whatnot. So I assume that will be on with us to plow Sky High as well while we're there. We'll be the managers of the property. So
Do you have a written road agreement with them?
that I haven't seen yet, no. But that's something
I don't know if we can even do that, but I would like that to be in the conditions that they can make a written road agreement with the Bagwells.
yeah, absolutely.
That works for us.
Or we related to that is Sky High Drive is obviously not a bulk road. It is a deeded right of way across.
Yes.
Have we seen the provisions of the deeded right of way?
Yes, for the easement up here,
Yeah,
we have the paperwork, we have showing that even as a shared use.
okay. But I didn't know if there were any provisions in there regarding maintenance, usage, et cetera. In that.
I can't recall, but
Yeah.
it basically does give us access to our property.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I know it gives you
But
access, but there's.
we are, more than, amenable to creating a new agreement, for maintenance and.
Can we put those requirements in as a board?
Yeah, you can request that the application work with the Bagwell.
I would like to do that.
That works for us too.
And then, they mentioned noise and. From the tenants and whatnot, and do you have a copy of what the building rules will be? That perhaps you could pass along to the Bagwells, or is this not formulated yet?
We don't have set building rules at the time. I think they were talking, and you can correct us if wrong, I think they were talking about construction noise specifically.
No,
No.
no, they're talking about resident policies.
I know in our other buildings, we have quiet hours. We can pass over what we've had on other buildings.
I'm personally in the rental business and, a good set of rules really makes a big difference.
Yeah. And as far as any sort of trespassing, that's obviously not gonna be something we would want with our tenants, so that's something we can.
Yeah.
We can work into our lease agreements.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so the road agreement had to do this, I had some other comments that I think probably more appropriate under the site plan. I don't know, does it even matter when we talk about what?
Yeah, you can talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, now there's some.
Yeah.
Additional work for subdivision, so.
Yeah. And then just having seen the drop off today, I just wanted to renew my concern about that area and a possible fence there. Some sort of a barrier, especially, I know you said you were having 2-bedroom apartments, so probably less children in 2-bedroom apartments. But,
It's 1, 2, and 3.
oh, 1, 2, and 3, okay. So I really think that there needs to be a barrier to the hill. But,
You could have had,
Yeah.
that's also something that. would be-
Yeah. and I mean. I don't think it has to be like a brick wall or anything, and, fencing is not super expensive, so I definitely think right across the front there, where that very steep.
Like on the
Part,
corner there.
like the rocks,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there is the part that I worry about the most. And, I did have question as to, well, if nobody's fallen there, maybe that's not needed, but I just. I think in low income housing where there may be children.
Yeah.
Unsupervised children, and that's their home. There's more of a concern than, if it was just like an event place or whatever, so. The kids will be outside playing on, I'm sure there will be kids outside playing unsupervised, and that's the worry I have. I don't know if anyone's interested in including that also in the conditions.
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Okay, I think that works for us. I mean,
okay,
I hope there's kids playing outside, so I
okay,
think maybe it's safe, makes sense to me.
okay.
Also had one more thing that I had asked there last time. You guys were here, I've been looking on the sheet, I haven't seen it. But a thing on the site plan to say that there is a working farm across the street. And that they will, they're gonna be a smell of shit.
We can, I apologize, I think I did miss that on the plan, but we can add that to the plan. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Okay. So I don't know if that's
We're
information
aware.
or not, but I'm not.
We're aware of the smell.
And as we go forward, there will be a traffic study done, so we will know a little bit more about the impact of the ins and outs, correct?
We did provide a traffic study.
So that's already been done,
Yeah,
okay,
we're on final full.
okay. I mean, that, for me, is a concern if I were somebody who was living there all these years with no traffic and all of a sudden. Wham. That's a concern, I don't know how we deal with it, I don't know how you mitigate it. But
Are you looking for an independent traffic study or just,
I don't, whatever's included in
oh,
the site
okay, cause I'm,
review
it's done by you
as we go
Yeah,
forward.
using the standards.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
I mean, we do use standardized estimates for traffic.
Right,
Based on
yeah.
this type of use.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was clear, Carrie,
Yeah.
on that.
And just to note, I mean, we'd be interested in looking at a speed bump if that, helped quell any
Yeah.
issues about speed, I mean.
Yeah.
We obviously don't want
That'd be great.
people to speed through there or cause any damage, so.
Yeah.
The speed bump seems appropriate.
Yeah.
I think we're aligned,
Speed bump.
along that road to be
We're large.
very safe. The 10 miles an hour works well for us as well too. We have no interest in increasing that at all.
Anything else at the present time?
I guess I do have one more concern, and I'm just gonna be blunt, because that's how I am. And I understand, there's a difference between low income housing and affordable housing. And, we've all been around low income housing, Section 8, those kind of places. And I just hope that you guys have something, something that can sort of filter out. I think the concerns that I would have as somebody who lived nearby, and where all of a sudden you hear, oh God, there's a low income housing, unit coming in with X amount of, I don't know how many you have that are gonna be considered either affordable or low income, but I don't know how you mitigate that, I really don't, but you'd hope that people will follow the rules, that they will, be good neighbors. But there tends to be a lot of crime with the lower income housing, and it gets a bad name. And how do you deal with it? I think
So-
that would be a concern of mine,
So
living nearby.
they're all affordable.
Mhm.
We're proud to bring them all affordable. These tenants are held to the same standard as all of our tenants across all of our buildings. Anything that they're doing that is illegal or against their lease, they get the same
And these are
repercussions.
rented, right? They're not
These are rented.
purchased, okay.
They get the same repercussions as they would in any building, any person.
And I guess I would just wanna know that that's something that you guys would get into.
Yeah, we're extremely on top of it. I think our current rentals speak to that. We have very good reviews, from abutters on our other properties. And
Where are you guys, where else do you have?
I would say our biggest one that I would speak to is the Nassau campus in Sanford. It was an old college campus that we have 87 apartments at. And we have faced similar skepticism from
Yeah.
abutters there, and I think they've been happy to see a vacant space. Now they've befriended some people in the apartments that it's
Yeah.
they're happy to
I
see.
mean, for me, I would be like, is there gonna be upkeep, is it gonna go to, there's a couple places here in Topsom that I'm not too thrilled with, and, they weren't. It's not that long ago, probably 10 years or more, but, they're not desirable. And when you go in there, you get that feeling right away, like this is really the bottom of the barrel. And I'm sure there's probably some, I'd say, more crime in those areas, and it's just, you look around and it's dumpy. And I would worry about that, and I hope that that's not gonna be something that would happen.
It's certainly not our goal.
Good. Good, I have to say it, I had to say it.
The way I see it is, right now, it's vacant and in rough shape, and our hope is to make it significantly better than it is currently.
Question, have you submitted a proposed or draft type rental agreement? as part of what we reviewed?
No, it
No.
follows like standard lease under Maine law.
Yeah.
But that is
Well, I know that this is,
not been.
there's been some questions about the rental
Yeah.
agreement and all that, so I don't know if you had submitted anything.
No, not at this point.
I would be, I would like to see that, that would be something that definitely, and knowing the family that lives next door, I think that would be something we probably wanna see. I'm just concerned, that's concerning, it's a lot of people all of a sudden moving in and being your neighbors. From all walks of life, and I'm not trying to be, I don't know,
Okay.
company.
And I have you move out of the way, because I think somebody down there was raising their hand, if you don't mind.
Hi, I'm Rainey Allard and I am a UTEP, so I'm on the other side of the street, the farms. And we've been talking about the stormwater runoff, and I know he said the swell, and that water's gonna go that way. And then everything from the roof, and I assume the driveways and the road will come onto Meadow Road. And like we said, there's some working farms there. There's my grandparents, my uncle, and Sunset Farm is right there also. So in the road agreement, you know, what are you treating roads with? Things like that. And already that runoff eats the road, especially on that right side of the Meadow Road coming up. It's always eating that side. And then just, yeah, the mailboxes will be a huge thing because they have to be on my grandparents' house side. And I know there's my grandparents, the newspaper, the Bagwells, and then whoever else is there. So that will be a to-do for my grandparents. And then, just so you guys know, when the school bus does come up, they turn around there. They turn up a little, back in, and then go back down. Just so you know that for speed bumps or anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy Bagwell again. I appreciate the comments, raised, with answering some of my concerns. I didn't hear an answer about the elevator, however. Which from being a healthcare provider is very important to me. Because these apartments are gonna be on the second, third floor.
So once it comes to the building part, that's sort of with Tom, right?
Right.
Yeah, so the codes officer will work on those,
Would address that.
those parts with the rules, the codes of the town and the ADA requirements and everything. So if it's not big enough now, it will be by the time they finish their project. Am I right about that?
Correct. Yes.
Yes,
That's correct.
And also, if we have a list from her that's written, I hope that we will at least be able to kind of knock off all those things on the list to make sure that they're been addressed. That's my ask, I guess.
Yeah, that might be tricky. But that's.
The gentleman with the blue hat also, did you have a question?
They answered it. I was curious on the composition of the residences, if you would. Being 1, 2, and 3, I wasn't sure what was going to be, if there's a percentage of. That's the amount of.
You wish to say something further?
There was, so, I mean.
Oh, you should probably say your name again,
Sorry.
so Patty can get it, to make sure.
Yep, Travis Letelier from Green Mars.
Thank you.
With regard to stormwater again, one of the actual benefits, because we are grassing over that existing gravelled area, stormwater will actually decrease a little bit going in that direction. So, overall, we have a net decrease in impervious area on the site due to that.
Anything further from any members of the public? You haven't gained anybody online, have you? Oh, their hand up. Okay. Then I will declare the public hearing on this aspect closed. Thank you. So the question that have at the present time, obviously, is members have said they want to see additional information. Do we wish to do a motion to table this application to get the additional information? Or do we wish to move forward?
I think I heard last time that the applicant has a deadline. This month for funding.
If we're not approved at this meeting, it is very, very unlikely that this project gets built.
So that would just be my only concern to tabling, that I cannot put anything.
Then, question for you, Josh.
But if others want to table, I.
Yeah. Does anybody wish to make a motion to table?
I'm just want these things addressed, so whether we go forward and they can get addressed, or if we are getting the cart before the horse, I don't know. Really my expertise, but
yeah,
I don't wanna go forward if there are things that are not being addressed.
So, will
We
we
can,
go forward?
what we can do is go forward with it. And when the signing of the plans come to us, everything's written down.
And also.
That's what we've done before.
That's what, yes. Yeah.
And also any of the conditions that have potentially been mentioned by the planning board, if those conditions are included with to be approved by staff, then basically we could, for example, if there's something about stormwater or like a fence, then we can make sure that those things are done to general acceptable standards that meet the intent of the planning board.
Okay, so
I'm ready.
I thought I took pretty good notes of what
I'm sure you did.
what the guy was saying, and I had. Yeah, I wrote them
Well, I
down.
don't know if this is right,
I'm sure it is.
essential, and you can make edits and change it.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have another bite at the apple, so to speak.
Yeah,
Well, that's right, that would be by making the conditions now.
Yeah, we're gonna make some conditions now.
yeah, so the conditions
Postal service
that,
one.
yeah, so we had one that we came back from the meeting sort of thinking about, which was. Applicant will coordinate with the US Postal Service to determine the appropriate infrastructure and placement of mail receptacles.
Yeah, that's on the site plan. Right now, we're just on the,
Oh, right, we're on the
we're
subdivision.
on the subdivision.
Oh,
Sure.
let me clarify
Okay,
which ones would be, let's see, so. Okay, so anything on the road, the road easement, that would be subdivision, the subdivision one.
Yep, I agree.
The fence would be site plan,
Yep. Correct.
and then, the language could be included on row, the language about working farms in the vicinity, that could be included in both, yeah.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
and then would the speed bumps go in with the road agreement or
Oh, that would be a good one to
they did
add.
sort of concede to speed bumps?
Yeah.
Add that on the site plan
Yes.
or add it to the,
That one would actually be, I do that subdivision because that's within the easement, the road easement.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
A written, so can I just add it to this one? Add
Yes.
it, okay,
Yeah, you could say like including, to include.
to include, Speed bumps.
Yeah, the addition of speed bumps.
Okay.
Yeah, and also include that the speed limit sign at 10 miles an hour is favorable too. You want more than 2 speed bumps?
2, 3.
I think three might be a little exciting on that road.
It maybe follows Frosty.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You're the chair, so you make the motion.
Don never does.
I know he doesn't. Usually
Okay,
make the motions though.
yep.
One second, I apologize.
Yeah.
I think we had one waiver we were requesting of the hiring trees on the property. That's still?
I think that's
Waivers on,
Yeah.
Or is that on site plan?
That one,
4 of 9.
I believe that one's on the site plan.
yeah, the trees are on site plan.
So it's,
Okay.
as you know, it's 2 different.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanna make sure.
Always good. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I presume that you're familiar with the conditions that are our standard conditions,
Yes.
all that, okay. So, gonna make a motion that I move that the final subdivision review application for Sky High Lodge, tax map R07, lot 28-1, having satisfied the applicable standards in the subdivision review ordinance, chapter 191, and the zoning ordinance, chapter 225, be approved with the staff recommended conditions and findings identified in the staff memo dated August 27, 2026, with the additional conditions of that the applicant shall work with the abutters and create an agreement regarding maintenance of the portion of Sky High Drive within the easement, including the addition of speed bumps and a posting and enforcement of 10-mile-per-hour speed limit. The applicant shall also include language on the site plan acknowledging the presence of working farms in the vicinity and the impact of those farms upon the property.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? None. That's unanimous, Patty. Yeah. Now. Well,
Well, she was muted.
do we lose Patty somewhere?
No, she's still here.
Oh, okay.
I believe you're muted, Patty.
I think I've been muted.
Sorry.
Sure.
Okay, so now we are going to move to the final site plan review, Sky High Lodge. Final site plan, Green Marsh Real Estate Services, Inc. is proposing a mixed-use repurpose of the existing building at 32 Sky High Drive to provide 18 affordable housing rental units and service business space, tax map R07, lot 28-1. Anything new you wish to say? We pretty well covered it from before.
It's the same exact plan.
Okay. Anything from the board at the present time for the applicants? Then we will open the public hearing on the site plan.
There's no.
Oh. Your agenda seems to imply, Josh, that there is. Okay. Then,
But you can't take public comment.
Yeah.
I think.
I will, since I said I was going to. Do we have any public comment on the site plan review that we haven't already covered? Hearing none, oh, whoops. You know, I could adopt a rule, you only get 3 times the mic, but no, but I wouldn't do that.
Thank you. It's just a question, so that the site plan, I think is a 34-page document. I can't keep track which document is which.
Yeah.
But the first paragraph of that 34-page document talks about having the sky high into the Registry of Deeds in Cumberland. Is that true?
In Cumberland?
Cumberland County.
It would need to be in Saginaw.
It's definitely Saginaw.
It's the
Okay,
first
well,
one.
that's another typo. It just makes me pause to make sure that everything else is accurate.
Yeah.
I can show you, do you need me to show you? I just,
No,
It may have been a typo that was in the application, but for the town of Topsham, it's required that they'll be registered with the Saginaw County.
that's what's called a clerical error. On behalf of the applicant. But yes, site plan will definitely be recorded in the Saginaw County Registry. Anything else? Then close that out. And we do have the suggested motion 1.
The other one, right?
It's-
The second one?
We're in the site plan. Yeah.
Second one?
We have to,
Have to do this first, then, lawyers.
yeah, I'll do the motion. I move the planning board concur with staff that the final application materials for the Sky High Lodge site plan have been submitted. And the application is complete such that the board may proceed with substantive review and identification of any further action or information which may be required from the applicant.
Second.
All in favor of that motion? That's unanimous, Patty?
Thank you.
Yeah. There's something from the applicant because here you did have a waiver request.
Yes, so we were requesting, part of the site plan is to, I believe, identify all trees above, I think, 4 or 6 inches in diameter, which obviously on a site like this would be, a monumental task, and wouldn't really provide you with any benefit to the site, so, we're asking for a waiver to exclude that information.
And my understanding is you really aren't going to be doing much, if any, further clearing on the property.
Yeah, the only anticipated clearing would be for the new septic systems. There might be a few trees we have to take out, but other than that, the rest of the site would be on already developed area.
Yeah.
Seems pretty reasonable.
Anything else with regard to this application for the site plan?
I think pretty much most of the information is revolving around the same ordinance section, so it's pretty much already copy of that subdivision.
Okay.
No, we have to vote on that waiver
We
first.
do have a rule in the waiver, yep. So I'll make a motion, I move the requested waivers for chapter 175-10A 2 small a be approved in accordance with the staff memo dated May 14, 2026. No, how about August 27, 2026?
Sounds good.
No, second that.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? That's unanimous, Patty?
Who seconded it?
Ron,
Ron did.
Thank you.
And then I move that the final site plan review application for Sky High Lodge, tax map R07, lot 28-1, having satisfied the applicable standards in the site plan review ordinance, chapter 175, and the zoning ordinance, chapter 225, be approved for the staff recommended conditions and findings identified in the staff memo dated August 27, 2026. With the following additional conditions. That one, the applicant will coordinate with US Postal Service to determine appropriate infrastructure and placement of mail receptacles. To be on Meadow Road. The applicant shall work with the butters. No, site plan, I'm sorry, applicant shall provide a fence to be approved by staff. To mitigate the risk of injury along the. What's along the slope? Oh, along the slope at the rear of the proposed building. And applicant shall include language on the site plan acknowledging the presence of working farms in the vicinity and the impact thereof. There's a
Second, then.
motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? That was unanimous, Patty.
Thank you.
Thank you. And, anything else? We'll entertain a motion to
Motion
adjourn.
adjourned.
Second.
All in favor? We are adjourned.
Thank you very much.